Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the July new moon reading for the sign of Pisces. Alright, let me just adjust my light a little bit. Alright, there we go. Alright, Pisces. You guys know how much I love you. To all my Pisces regulars out there, you guys are ride or die. You're some of my first subscribers for Pisces, and I love you guys to pieces. So, I always love reading for you, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to get your animal spirit out. And you know the drill. It's the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck. Let's see what kind of animal spirit is walking with our beautiful fish this new moon July period. All right, Pisces. Let's see. What's going on? What's going on? Who's walking with Pisces? Show me. Alright, Pisces. Your card. Huh. Beautiful. Phoenix. Alright. Rising from the ashes, right? So we know what that's all about. Alchemical symbol for ether at the top, which is the circle. Alright, so the Phoenix is all about totally transforming. The Phoenix chakra is, I believe, let me just double check, because the Phoenix chakra, I believe, is one of the early hang on just a second. Yes, it is the very first chakra. That's what I believe. So this is the root chakra. So this is what we call the base, right? It's right at the bottom of your spinal column. The next chakra up would be the sacral chakra, right? Which is your sexual reproductive organs. However, this is the root chakra. This is where everything kind of springs out, you know, the very basis. Freedom, past karma, reincarnation, all associated with the Phoenix. Burning off karma, right? Transforming the past. So when the Phoenix shows up, it's like all healing. It's all transformative, right? Let me just make sure I've got my... Hang on a second. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. My flash was off. So Phoenix is all about transforming the past, right? It's all about healing, tying off karmic debt, burning off karmic debt, all of that sort of thing, right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful card. Certainly it's a beautiful card when you talk about a new moon reading and new beginnings, right? So, beautiful energy. Do with the element of spirit. Show me what's going on with our beautiful Pisces this new moon period. Show me. Pisces, July, new moon. What's going on? What's going on for our lovely Pisces? Alright, we want to know about all things new beginnings, aspirations, dreams, reaffirmations, affirmations, warning signs. Show me. Alright. So, if you're a regular in my channel, you know the drill. We're going to take each card in turn and go around with our Deviant Moon deck. At the center, Queen of Pentacles covered by King of Swords. Wow. All right. Bottom of the deck is Temperance, so Sagittarius coming in to lend a hand. Sagittarius energy, certainly. I do find Sagittarians and Pisces do tend to get along. Maybe it's just me. I have a Mars in Pisces. I am a Sagittarius myself, but I was raised by two Pisces, so I love your energy very much. And Temperance is very, very good energy with Pisces, because it certainly helps you to temper your emotions. Pisces oftentimes are empath, and so they can very much have, I don't want to say suffer, but really they have to cope with a lot of emotions, oftentimes that are not their own. And so tempering is necessary. Queen of Pentacles is at the center, covered by King of Swords. Well, this to me, this is you and your partner, isn't it? Right? I mean, you're bringing in you're making your own money. You're your own person, Pisces. Your Queen of Pentacles is one of my favorite queens. She's come from nothing. She's built her fortune, right? She's put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, love, and nurturing into her goals and into her passions, whether that be a career or business or what have you. And of course, covered by a King of Swords, who is there, the protector, the great protector, right? He is the great rule maker. He's stern. He's not the benevolent, sort of gentle, kindly king. He's the one that sets the law of the land. He's the one who he's not only the rule maker, he's the punisher, right? He's the one who decides, in his kingdom, what your fate is, right and wrong, and all of that sort of thing. Certainly, King of Swords, king of the mental plane, communication, right? So he's a master communicator. Oftentimes, he can be also a master manipulator, right? But he's kingly, he has integrity, and he is exalted. He's trustworthy, right? He has your back. Oftentimes, the King of Swords is someone who is very good with his words. He could be a lawyer, a debater, a politician, etc., etc. But certainly, Queen and King together, we've got the Chariot. So you're getting ready to change course, right? You're getting ready to go on a path. Certainly, Phoenix is beautiful energy to have when you've got Chariot also involved, because part of the Chariot is in standing still, 7 being the number of dreams and wishes. Chariot stands still until you engage it, but you don't engage your Chariot until everything is ready, everything has been planned. Certainly, any old wounds, any past karma, right, is being dealt with before you go on to your new path, right? So it's quite beautiful. Phoenix energy is very much burning, right? It burns through old karma. So this could be the transformation is very complete, right? Can be quite difficult also. 3 of Wands. So yeah, trying to take the next step on your project, on your goals, looking to see, where am I at now? How do I plan my expansion? How do I, where do I go next? Strategizing. 3 of Wands is certainly cooperation. So it's when you come together with like-minded individuals working on a plan as well. Or you may get advice or inspiration from others at this time. 3 being the number of loyalty and bonding. So it's at this point that you're bonded to your goal. You're bonded to your path. You're committed to it, right? And you're ready now, after the Ace of Wands, which is the inspiration, and 2 of Wands, which is the desire to move forward, the planting of the seeds. The 3 of Wands, you start to get some of your fruits back and start to reevaluate where you are before you move forward, whose help you need, certainly who you'd like to work with, who to reach out to. 9 of Cups. So wishes are coming in, wish fulfillment, right? You feel like you're getting all your hopes and dreams. But 9 of Cups is a general, can be, there's an admonishment there, right? It's not an all great, you have everything you wish for, because 9s always talk about being alone, being solitary, not necessarily being lonely, but certainly being alone. 9 is the Hermit card. So in all of the suits, when we come up with a 9 of the suit, we do see inherent there in that card a sense of getting what you wish for in a way, but missing a piece. So here, it's like you get your wishes, right? But it's like, you're almost getting your wishes for wishes' sake. This person is by themselves, with the genie lamp, and this sort of whatever he wants is his heart's desire, but he's still alone, right? And so it doesn't really matter if you get all your wishes, right? The last little piece of the puzzle before you reach 10 of Cups, which is total contentment, is understanding that in order to enjoy life, in order to enjoy your hopes and dreams, you have to have someone to share it with, right? Sharing. Another 9. Wow, you certainly are coming to the end of a period, right? So 9 of Cups, we realize we come to an end of just having selfish wishes, just having wishes just having dreams and attaining things for our own selfish desires, understanding that in order to share our hopes and dreams, in order to really be where we want to be, we have to give ourselves completely, right? We can't hold anything back. We really have to give ourselves over to it. Same thing with Nine of Wands. Also, taking a respite from a long journey, realizing that you need to dig inside yourself and get that last little bit of strength so that you can complete this journey. Only you can do it, right? Again, another solitary mission. There's no one else that can help you get to the 10 of Wands, right? And again, 9 of Wands, he's taking pause. He's taking pause to look at everything that he's been through, to look over this long path that he's been on, and to dig deep for that last kind of bit of motivation and strength to complete his journey, right? And to tie that part of his life off. Certainly Phoenix energy. 2 9s back to back. 8 of Cups coming in. Interestingly enough, as a result of all of this, you realize that you need to put in some boundaries in your relationships. You're realizing that you haven't really been holding people to a standard like you should be, right? It's time that you realize where your strengths and weaknesses lie in relationships, what type of relationships are good for you, and what type of relationships exalt you and make you stronger. And putting in place the boundaries that you need and the criteria that you require for anyone to get close to you, or that people have to, respect. Hangman energy. Wow, coming out of a state of really being stuck, right? Could be that for quite some time you've been stuck at this 9 stage, right? This last little stage before you get the final piece of the puzzle. And so what happens is that you're waking up now, you're realizing that you've got to put a little bit more effort into it, right? That it's time to finally finish burning off the last of all of this karma and get to the 10 of Cups and 10 of Wands, right? Hangman comes in when he is awakened, right? It doesn't come into someone who's still asleep or unaware. So it's at the moment that you wake up and you realize that you need to move, make a change, no longer remain in this kind of, comfortable position. Oftentimes people mistake the Hanged Man for hanging in a very awkward, uncomfortable, in an uncomfortable position. They assume that because it's such an awkward position, it's uncomfortable. But here in the card, you see it's quite comfortable. He's very, relaxed. He has his arms behind his back. He's balancing a pocket watch on his other heel, which indicates to him he has nothing but time on his side. He doesn't need to move for any man or woman or anything. He moves when he desires to change. He moves when something comes into his life that he feels is worth moving for, because up until now, quite frankly, he's just very comfortable. And it could also indicate, oftentimes, we get shocked with people who are in hangman energy sometimes, because we see individuals who are comfortable in what we would consider otherwise very uncomfortable circumstances or environments, right? Even so far as to say poverty and violence, etc. But yet people remain there in this kind of sense of not wanting to do more. And there is a level of comfort there, because, it's better the environment than the one you don't. At least in that environment, they know what to expect and they don't have to work for anything. And further, they don't have to work and possibly fail. So the thought of working for something and possibly failing for some people is so overwhelming that they'd rather not. And so they remain quite comfortable in their position, which is Hangman. Always coming up as a warning, too. Don't stay too long in this 9's energy. But I think it's time for you to tie it up. Phoenix energy, is talking. Phoenix animal spirit is letting you know that it's time now to move forward. It's time now to complete the transformation, right? To make the steps necessary. Take the steps. Make the decisions necessary to move forward. Queen of Wands. So, yeah, you feel, and I think this is you later on, this energy of, wow, you did it, right? You made it. You transformed yourself. Queen of Wands is real. She's the battle queen, right? She's the one who's been through the fire. She's transformed completely from head to toe. She hides that from people. She doesn't show people everything she's been through necessarily. She is cautious. She understands also that she can deter people. She can actually scare people off sometimes if they were to see exactly how powerful she is. So she tends to not show her true power until it's necessary, right? But Queen of Wands is when, certainly strong, strong, passionate female energy. You know, when you know who you are, you're confident, and you know how to handle life, and you know how to handle trials and tribulations and difficulties, right? You've mastered a certain level of yourself, right? You've mastered certain levels of yourself as a whole, right? And so you attain this Queen of Wands, which is like not only has she mastered herself to a certain degree, especially with temperance. She has a high degree of temperance, right? Both being associated with fire, but she has a lot of self-confidence now, a lot of self-esteem. She trusts her own voice, right? She's very similar to the High Priestess, but in different ways. She, you know, her intuitive side and her all-knowing side, her wisdom, she puts into action very much so, right? She moves forward with that, right? High Priestess is more to do with the, you know, just that energy, that magic that flows in us, that comprises our self-confidence and our intuition. You know, she's almost like the lifeblood of it. But here, Queen of Wands, it's more like, you know, she's that in action. You know, she lives her life by her inner voice, her intuition. She makes these decisions by that. She stands by her decisions. She's willing to fight for them as well. That's how strongly she believes. And certainly after everything she's been through, that's how strongly she believes in her own sense of judgment. And there is the Tower. Wow. So yeah, Phoenix and the Tower make perfect sense, because again, the Tower moment is all about a period in your life where everything is sort of upended and turned and changed for the, you know, for the better. It's a divine moment. You know, it's certainly a period where, you know, this could involve a move, this could involve a change in relationship, right? It's quite interesting that you are showing up at the center also as Queen of Pentacles and King of Swords, right? In that, I almost feel as though this whole scenario is something that you're going through with your partner rather than on your own. If you're involved, if you are a Pisces that is in a relationship or long-term relationship, then you guys are very much going through this together. I don't see a separation here. I see this very much as a mutual kind of like going through this kind of path, right? This, you know, and this Chariot is very much taking the two of you, right, onto this next stage. But something is changing. Something is very much changing in your lives. And I think that it's more to do with how you're living, where you're living. I think it's going to involve a move, perhaps, a change in career for some of you. An increase in abundance for some of you, right? But this is also, like I said, much more to do with healing the past, right? Dealing with karma, past karma, right? And so a lot of this, certainly this Nine of Wands, is part of the karma that you've been dealing with, and some of the issues you've been dealing with up until now, up until this period where you're finally coming to an end of it. Now, an example could be family issues, right? It could be personal issues. It could be that you've been going through a long period of rehabilitation in some way, right? Therapy in some way. It could be that you've been dealing with a family issue for a long time that's been very difficult, right? That's caused you a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of sleepless nights, right? A lot of upset and anxiety. And it could be, so that's an example, right? But now it's kind of, this whole period is coming to an end, right? And coming out of it, you're learning some things, right? And some of the things that you're learning is how to put in some boundaries in relationships for the future. It's almost as if like you have to wait for this to end. It's like you're committed to it, but you have to wait for it to end. But moving forward, how to put in boundaries and requirements for people to get close to you. It doesn't necessarily only mean in your romantic relationships, because if you're in a relationship, like I said here, which is what I feel, then this is to do with all your relationships, friendships, family relationships, all relationships. It's like you still need to have certain boundaries depending on the relationship, right? And this is a big thing that you're learning. You know, you're coming out of something that you've been stuck in for quite some time. And that's what's part of this whole Phoenix energy, right? And you almost wonder, like, well, what's the big deal? What's actually going to happen? But this finishing of this stage and this coming out of this stage is really going to, you're going into a whole new period of your life as a different person, you know, as a different person. You're embodying Queen of Pentacles, but once you've finished with this issue, like I said, family, friend, or what have you, right, career or project, passion issue, right, tying that up, you come out of it a different person. You come out of it more in your Queen of Wands, which is more kind of like, yeah, all right, what else has the world got to offer, you know? That's what I mean. It's like you come out of this so much more confident, so much more brazen. You're willing to be more creative. You're willing to do more with your creativity without worrying about what people think or feel or about you, right? Without the judgment. And so this kind of change and this kind of reevaluation and this increase in self-confidence is what brings this tarot moment, because I almost feel like, you know, this increase in is going in confidence, right? And in almost power, you feel like, right? May cause you to have certain conversations with people that have been a long time coming, right? Now you're finally standing up to certain individuals that maybe you haven't stood up to before, and it sets in play a certain kind of chain reaction, right? That leads to a tower moment. But this tower moment is for the positive, because it's like you're burning off all of this old bad karma that you have with people, relationship, friendships, agreements that you've been in that up until now you haven't had really the strength to address or to get out of. And now that you're addressing them and you're realizing that they don't serve a purpose for you, it's almost as if this world that you've built up around them is crumbling, right? It's crumbling, but now you can build a better, stronger world that is more in tune with who you are now, rather than the person you were when you were going through all of this shit over here. All right? The Chariot is poised and ready to go. And so his desire to move forward, this like, you know, this urging forward of the Chariot is what is at the bottom of all of this, right? Which is the energy that's underneath, kind of, you know, spurring you on, pushing you on out of all of this, because the Chariot knows that, Pisces, you are at a point in your life where you're about to make a turn, a change. You're about to go down a different path, right? Because you're about to go towards a different dream, a new dream for yourself. But again, it's very much about closing off these old cycles, coming out of whatever responsibilities you still have open over here, dealing with some of this wish fulfillment, understanding that, you know, learning not to be so selfish in your desires, but to understand that you should wish for things for you and your unit, your family. And I'm not saying that you are selfish, but I'm just saying that these are all like little lessons that are coming in, right? Just to fine tune you, right? Certainly, it needs to be done, because there are already possibilities for you moving into new territories, new areas, new businesses, new places to live. You and your partner are certainly moving into a new phase in life where it's like it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different environment, right? So in order to do that, and for this to be on the cards, for that Chariot to move towards that, all of these other things have to kind of be dealt with, so that as you engage your Chariot, you have this wonderful Queen of Wands strength and commitment. All right, I hope this message resonated with you, Pisces, out there. It's quite beautiful. The Phoenix is really a very, very strong animal spirit, right? I mean, certainly with it being associated with the first chakra at the base, you know, it's like when the Phoenix arrives, you know, when the Phoenix shows up, it's almost as if, you know, you burn off any kind of like old karma, old entanglements, you know. When I say old entanglements, I mean like, you know, little bits of karma that we accumulate along the way as we interact with people, right? As we intermingle with people. You know, there's these little bits of karma that we accumulate that we have to burn off, right? That somehow we have to deal with, right? And it's very much a case of that when Phoenix comes in. It's almost as if like, you know, it's making sure that all the little I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. All those little bits of a bad karma or negative karma that you have accumulated, you now have an opportunity to kind of burn all those little bits and pieces off at once, because they were just slights here and there, moments here and there, right? Because everything you do builds karma, right? Or burns off karma. And in the same moment does the same thing, right? You're always building and burning karma off at the same time. Excuse me, I have to take a sip of iced tea. So it's like that, right? It's like just finishing off, tying off all these little bits and pieces so that you move forward with this like real harmony, real nice, clean, almost slate in a way, certainly, where a lot of like little issues have been dealt with and cleaned off. And boom, you're able to engage your chariot. And life is very different now because it's like you're free. You're free from a lot of little entanglements that took a while for you to realize, and for you to now make the right decisions and free yourself from. All right, so it's a beautiful transformative period for you, certainly for those Pisces who are in a relationship. For those who aren't in a relationship, I'm not necessarily sure if this reading is for you per se. I can tell you that this King of Swords, if this is not your permanent mate or somebody that you're involved with now, it can certainly be a friend that is helping you through these issues. Someone who embodies all of those qualities that I mentioned earlier of the King of Swords, but that is just a true friend of yours, someone who cares very much for you, has a lot of affection for you, and wants to see you succeed. And so they're certainly coming in to help you, right? So this is, whether this is a long-term partner or not, this individual is here to assist, to watch you grow and conquer, because they really have a lot of sincere feelings for you and affection for you. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is your actual mate or lover, and that this reading is very much aimed at those of you who are in happy relationships and moving forward together in that happy relationship, going through some of these issues together as a unit. All right, I'm going to call it, Pisces. This is a beautiful reading for the new moon of July. All right, if any of this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, sound off below. All right, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're going through. I do love reading the comments and replying to and responding to them. If you want to get a private reading and go deeper, just follow that link at the bottom of your screen. But for right now, I'm just going to say, my beautiful Pisces, I love you so much, and have a wonderful July new moon period. Bye-bye now.